gentlemen, I am your host, Keith Andrew, and you're watching the Keith Andrew Network. This is episode 534. I'm here with Royce Herron. I just want to say, Royce Herron, I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Nice to be with you, Keith.
Now, the honor's all mine. Now, for people who want to know what my talk show is about, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, and to prove to them you still amount to something. That being said, half hour of your time, 33 minutes to a half hour. Say anything you want, talk about whatever you want. It's uncensored, freedom of speech, self-expression. And like I said, yeah, it was a real honor and privilege for us to actually do the official interview. Now,
Well, I want to say that I think it's wonderful. However, I don't like to use the term disability. I like to use the term challenged because I'm challenged myself. Last year, I was very sick. I was in the hospital for 4 months. I've always been a big girl, too. So, um, we all have our challenges, but those are the things that make us unique and special. And it's never too late to do the things that you love, and it's never too late to dream. I got my master's degree when I was 60 years old. I'm 70 years old now and still working. Going to Power Morphicon tomorrow. I'm excited about that. And so, I think you should be so proud of yourself, Keith, that you're doing this, and I'm proud of you, whether that means anything or not.
it does. I appreciate it.
So, how did you become a Power Rangers fan? Because that's how we got to know each other, right?
Right. Well,
So,
before I answer the question, let me just give everyone a little brief highlight. As you were nice enough, help me 5.5. It's going to be 5.5 years right now. But going back 5.5 years ago, back to 2013, you were nice enough to help me do a phone interview for my demo years. So
oh,
unfortunately, I don't have those anymore. When I make I can't even speak. When I make a mistake, I like to not acknowledge it. Like, okay, I made a mistake, acknowledge it, move on. So I threw all those out, and it's kind of like, what demo years? So,
yeah.
so excuse me. Now that having you officially on the show, it's a big accomplishment because I had some big names on. I can mention that in a couple of minutes. But when I first started, and that's how answer your question, I was a big fan of Tring Trang. I always had a crush on her. I liked Jason David Frank, and I liked the original cast. The six were a big influence, and I slowly but surely attempted to approach them. Say, hey, I'm doing my show. I'd like to have you a part of it. Unfortunately, Tring Trang passed away.
Yes. Tragically, in a car accident.
Right. Uh, Scary enough, it happened the day before September 11th.
Ah, yeah. Another really bad day for most of us.
No, I agree.
I like the original Power Rangers too, although my grandson likes all of the new ones. He's only 10, and he likes Ninja Steel. That's his favorite. We're in the process of making a Ninja Steel cosplay costume for him. My daughter's an armor maker, so she did his helmet, and she's working on his gauntlets and his boots and his breastplate. So, and I do the under stuff. I've been a costumer longer than I've been an actor. I've been an actor for a very long time, but I was a costumer first. When I was in middle school, I started making my own Halloween costumes and things. So I'm doing the spandex, which is kind of fun, and he's going to be a gold Ninja Steel Ranger
Oh,
at
nice.
the Morphicon. So Where back east are you? I just want to get a sense of where you are because you're 3 hours ahead of me there.
Right. I'm more near the Catskills, so near like West Point.
Oh, lovely. Lovely, lovely. Are you guys getting hot weather back there like we're having here in California?
I think today will be like something like 89 or about.
Yeah, well, it's cooled off here. I live in San Diego. I've been here since when I got sick. I had to retire. At that point in time, I was teaching at a community college, teaching theater arts and costume design and makeup and theater history. And I was living in the LA area and working on my acting career. Um, then I had to move to San Diego because I am 70 years old
Right.
and things just don't work as well as they did when I was 45. So I live with my daughter and her family here in San Diego, and it's really quite wonderful. I like being with family again. I was living on my own in LA, so
How you
it's
like being?
to have,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say how you like being a grandmother.
I love being a grandma, but I've been a grandma for a very long time. I had children young. Um, my oldest grandchild is 18. My youngest grandchild is the one I live with, and he's 10. So I never feel old until I think about how old my children are. And my oldest, my son, is pushing 50. He's 48 now. And then I think, oh my goodness, I'm 70. How old is that? But you know what? Picasso said, we don't grow older, we grow riper. So I'm getting to be that juicy piece of fruit that everyone loves. So I don't mind getting older. It's kind of easier when you're older. You don't think so much about what other people think about you. And if they don't like, they can look the other way. That's fine.
No, absolutely. And hey, it's not your karma to worry about.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want me to tell you how Power Rangers came about for me?
Yes, but I was gonna before. I don't want this just to be a Power Ranger conversation, but we will cover that. The first question I was gonna ask you is how was life growing up, and were you a study nerd or party animal when you went to college?
Oh, well, how to make a long story short. I was one of those kids whose family didn't stay together. And I was born in 1948. I was a baby boomer, as they call my generation. And people had families that stayed together, even when they weren't in the best situation. But my parents had a really bad divorce. And so bad that I was put in foster care while they were trying to figure out the custody. And my dad stole me. And so for the first, from the time I was 3 until I was 11, we were kind of on the run. And I was not always with my parents. About half of my first 18 years, I was in homes other than my parents. And so what I found was it was easier to be compliant, to be obedient, to be invisible as much as possible. And so I was a good girl. Everybody called me a good girl. And school was the one safe place, was the place where I could always do well because no immodesty intended, but I'm bright. Um, and so I did well in school. I was a 4 year National Honor Society student and loved school. I still love school. School is something that is wonderful. I love teaching for that same reason because you never stop learning. If you stop learning, you might as well give up on life because you stagnate. And who likes a stagnant pond? They stink and they look ugly. So, so that was kind of how I grew up. I say I wasn't raised; I was jerked up. Uh, but I've been blessed. The Lord has blessed me And I do, you need to know, I'm a Christ believer because he has guided my life and he has blessed me with a life where I've gotten to do what I love to do for my living. So it was never just a job. It's always been a passion for me. And he gave me an acting career. Not a big one. You know, if we do ABC list actors, I'm probably down at number F or number G. But I've done some really good stuff, starting with Power Rangers. I did ER. I did the Bernie Mac show. I did the Mindy Project. I've got really good credits. You know, now don't blink when you're watching those shows because you may miss me because I'm what they call a day player. I come in for 2 or 3 lines, um, but the work is always fun. I'm always learning something new, and I love what I do. So I'm still trying to act. You know, now I don't know if you know the movie First Wives Club. Goldie Hawn plays an actress in that movie, and she talks about the roles for women in the business. And she says that there are 3 roles for women in the business: babe, district attorney, and driving Miss Daisy. And I'm in the driving Miss Daisy phase of my career. So and because the world is beginning to realize that there are more of us older people out there than there used to be, there are beginning to be shows that are about people my age. So I'm seeing more and more roles for me, and keep your fingers crossed, say a prayer, because I want to work. I want to work. I love it. You know, I don't have to make a lot of money. I'm never, probably, although I don't like to say never, because you never say never, because the first time you say never, exactly what you've said never to shows up. But I don't anticipate ever getting an Emmy or an Oscar. But to be on set and to do the work is really, it makes my heart sing. So that's what I want to do.
No, absolutely. You know, I feel the same way. I'm very passionate about my talk show. Hopefully, I
Mm.
get my own studio and everything. I can get a better set. But I want to do this until the day I die. I'm not saying that to be cute. I'm not saying that to be funny. I swear to God, I love doing what I'm doing, and I want to do this until I die. That's how passionate I am about it.
And you know what? If you want it that bad, Keith, it's going to happen. I trust and believe, and you go on my prayer list right now. I am claiming for you a studio with all the appropriate equipment and people to help you so that you're not looking for that record button, and, uh, and that you're going to, people all over the world are going to hear what you have to say because it's important.
No,
It's
absolutely. Now, the next question I was going to ask you is who. Okay, 2 parts. The first part is who were some of your favorite Power Rangers and castmates to work with, and that you still keep in touch with, and who did you hate? I mean, absolutely hate working with.
Well, I never really hated working with anybody. Unfortunately, or, you know, I don't know that it's unfortunate. I spent a lot of my time in my dressing room because the Rangers worked a lot. So I didn't get to spend a lot of time with them. I do keep in touch with Karen Ashley, who became the Yellow Ranger after Trini was gone, and Nakia Baris. They're wonderful women. And I never was on set with her, but Rajia, who was an alien ranger, I keep in touch with, and Alan Palmer, I keep in touch with. I don't see them face to face, but we're Facebook buddies, and we keep up on what's going on in their life. To be very honest with you, when I was doing the show, the people I got to spend most of my time with were Jason Narvi and
Great
Paul
guy.
Hulk and Skull, because most of the time our scenes were together. And so we would talk, and they're both splendid, splendid young men and really talented actors. Um, And so that was always a joy. They were theater trained as I was theater trained. I was not trained in film and television. Actually, for me, Power Rangers was like going to college to learn how to film, because Elon Rosenberg, who was the director of photography for the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and I don't know how long Elon did uh, photography for them, but he liked me. And so he taught me how to act in front of the camera. He used to do things like put sandbags so I could hit my mark, and station somebody behind the camera so I would know which side of the camera to look at. Um, and he would tell me to quiet my voice because I tend to be a big, loud mouth person because I was trained to project. Um, so Power Rangers was really that kind of a gig for me. It was a learning situation. But Paul and Jason, just absolutely splendid people. And then I admired Amy Jo Johnson. I still admire her. She worked her craft. Whenever she was not on set, she was off set. She was taking classes, she was working on her music. She has a band, I think. I know she's a mother now. So she did a lot of things after Power Rangers. She went on to do Flashpoint and made for television movies. So, but they were all great kids. And I was very fortunate to be a part of that first group.
No,
I really,
absolutely. The first group will always be the best. And even Trini broke out. She was in The Crow too. Even though it
yeah.
was a horrible movie, but she was the best part of the movie.
Yeah, I have to be really honest with you. My very first day on set at the Power Rangers, they were still filming in Culver City. It was before the earthquake in 95 or 96 out here when freeways fell. It was
Yeah.
a big, big earthquake. And we were, they said, come look at this footage, because I don't know if you knew or not, but Chaim Saban, who owned the original Power Rangers, um, had purchased the suited Power Rangers action footage in Japan, because the idea of Power Rangers originated in Japan. And so, come look at this footage. And I went and I looked at it, and I have to be really honest. I thought, ooh, this is kind of cheesy. But but the next thing I knew, they had premiered the program and it went to the top with a bullet. And one day nobody knew who the Power Rangers were, and the next day they were on the Today Show, and it just went from there. And there was a period of time when I couldn't go into a grocery store without people going, "Oh, it's Miss Appleby," and that was kind of weird, kind of strange, because I like my privacy. I'm a very private person,
My
so.
dad said that to me. I was like, we're at the Ulster County Fair, and I said, I just want someone to walk up to me. Oh, yeah, you're Keith Andrew. You're the kid with a disability. Pretty on talk show. I like your work. Or, oh, hey, how's it going? Or just something. And my dad said to me, there was going to come a day where you're going to regret that and you want to have your privacy.
Yeah, you have to be careful what you wish for, because particularly in show business where the product is you. I
Yeah.
mean, I am my product. I am marketed. People begin to expect you to be the character that you play. I deal with this with my grandson a lot. He doesn't like Bulk and Skull because they're, as he says, excuse the language, a jerk, And I said, yeah, but let me tell you about these two men who play those characters. They're not like that at all in real life. They're really wonderful people. But it's hard for him to get past the idea that they are
Yeah.
these characters on TV. So one of the most famous quotes, um, that I know is Rhonda Fleming, who is a very big, beautiful, sexy film star in the 40s and 50s. The most important role she ever played was Gilda. And one of the things she said is men take Gilda home, but they wake up with Rhonda and they don't like it. They want us to be who we are. So sometimes I don't mind that.
Yeah.
For example, at the Morphicon, they're doing an Angel Grove High School prom this year. Miss Appleby is going to chaperone the prom, and I'm going to do it in character. So I can be Miss Appleby for one evening, but when I go home, I'm going to be Royce Herron, and Royce Herron is a very different woman than Miss Appleby. Although we do have some characteristics in common, I think, probably.
Well, I do have a couple questions for you off the air, but we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, I'm going to ask you two more questions, and I'll pass the show over to you.
Okay.
Vanessa Lina. Adrian Lalo.
Apple.
This is Cynthia Bastinet.
I'm Sonia Fisher.
This is Shane Smith.
My name is Alexandra Bowie.
My name is Amelia Clover.
Hi, I'm Amy Linden.
Hi, I'm Anita Nicole Brown.
It's Renee Green.
Hi, my name is Asata Caldwell.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brooke.
Hi, I'm Bryn Berg.
Hi, I'm Casey Dunn.
Hi, it's Cassandra Kavinsky.
Hi, I'm Christina Briza.
I'm Cindy Hogan.
I'm Courtney Sinello.
Hi, I'm Daisy.
My name is Deborah Jane East.
Hi, my name is Dinah Marasea.
Hi, everyone. I'm Victoria London.
Hi, I'm Heather Krona.
Hi, I'm Heather Callahan Stevens.
Hi, I'm J. Nicole Ralph.
My name is Jamie Petrone.
My name is Julie.
My name is Julia Brankovich.
Kathleen Wills.
Kimberly Amato.
Hi, my name is Laura Putnam.
Hi, I'm Laura Chapanis.
Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa Damas.
This is Michelle Mupo, a.k.a. Fuchsia.
I'm Rachel Lavera.
Hi, my name is Sarah Joy Mount.
Hi, I'm Susan Brender.
Hi, everyone. This is Venus Leone.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Dana.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Herrera, and I was just on the Keith Andrew Network. It was tons of fun. We used up all our time and then some. I really recommend this show, and try to be a guest on Keith's show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 534. I'm here with the beautiful and talented Royce Herron. I just want to say thank you for putting up with me and being on my wonderful talk show.
Oh, it's so hard to put up with you, Keith. You're such a sweetheart. Yeah. Not having to put up with you, I'm enjoying myself.
I appreciate it. The first question I was going to ask you, it's going back to what I asked you about if there were certain people you worked with that you didn't like, but you still work together. I mean, like, for me, I want to have Barbara, I want to have you back on the show for part 2. I'm looking forward to that. But I also had Barbara Goodson. She helped me with my demo years. I had Kerrigan Mayhem, who did both my demo years, and actually a great episode. I got Ron Reisman. I don't know if you ever, by your expression, I guess you do know him. He's a great guy. I got Jason Narvey. I did a demo interview with, he just said his name, Alan Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really about it. And there's other people I hadn't. Okay, there's one person I didn't like, and I did apologize, but I'll tell you in a minute. But Paul said he refuses to do an interview. He just says he doesn't do interviews. I said, that's fine. Anit and Nakia says she doesn't do interviews. But yet they're doing other stuff. It's kind of like video interviews, so I kind of like, alright, yeah, whatever. But I wanted Karen Ashley on the show. Mm-hmm. And for people who didn't know, 5.5 years ago, I was called Keith Andrew Network Presents Uncensored. And I asked Karen Ashley to be, and I don't mean to complain to you, I apologize, I'll just give you the highlights. I wanted Karen Ashley on the show. She said no. I went, okay, fine, whatever. I'm not holding a gun to you. If you want to be on the show, great. If not, whatever. I find somebody else. The problem was, the next day, I said to her, she said, hey everyone, I'm Karen Ashley, and I have a brand new show. It's called Uncensored. I'm going to talk about this and about it. You just basically took my show because I said I was doing uncensored this and that, and now you're doing it for yourself. So basically, I have a learning disability, and I did apologize multiple times throughout the years. I said, you're an asshole and you're a hypocrite. 2 weeks later, I tried, apologizing. And basically, it got to the point where I don't know if it was from her or her agents, is we do not accept apologies from people like you. And as soon as I heard that, I said, you know what, I am done. I am done with her. But at the same time, it gave me a reason to say, one of the reasons, if I'm using the KeithAndrewNetWork brand instead of uncensored, and I'm paying for the name KeithAndrewNetWork, let's do something special. Let's do something unique. So I deleted all my episodes. I got up to 300. Long story about that. I got 300. I said, you know what? I'm going to rebrand myself. So now I'm called KeithAndrewNetWork, and the theme is uncensored, freedom of speech, self-expression, and everything. But I would love to have Karen Ashley on the show. It was just some stupid misunderstanding, but whatever. But go ahead.
Let me say this to you. There are a number of Power Ranger actors who make their living doing the Comic-Cons.
Yes.
And they go all around the world. And so it is their brand that they use, their name, and because it's the way they make their living, they can't do things for free.
Yes.
And this year, the past Power Morphicons, I've never charged for my autograph or my autograph headshots or these. I'm just going to show you very quickly here my detention slips.
That's funny.
But this year, because I'm retired and I am trying to live off of Social Security, which let me tell you, is not easy, I have to charge, and I don't know how that's going to go. I'm not charging a lot. That's why I can do this for you, because basically it's not costing me anything, okay? But when I do these kinds of things, those cost me money, just like it costs you money to purchase your name and do those kinds of things. So you have to kind of give people who make their living doing this a little grace. And I hope, Karen is really a very special young woman, and she's really lovely. And I'm hoping that you can, think better of her in the future.
No, like I said, what happened 5.5 years ago, it's done, it's over with. I love her work. I would love to have her on the show. It's just when I think about that comment that we don't deal with people like you, it's kind of like...
Yeah.
But I understand, I understand, like, give me an example. I was thinking about doing a meet and greet on my own. And, I don't have anything on me, but you can see behind me. I have my belt and I have my trophy. And I do have a couple of headshots. It's kind of like, I see it like this. If I'm making money, it's not a big deal. And I do get disability money also, so I can be late. But how I see it, if you're making money, you have money to throw around. But like you said, you get in Social Security some money, so you're just throwing it. But it would be nice to get it thrown back too, so you have to live on. And so I understand it, but it's kind of like, as I say to people, I don't pay people to be on my show, because I felt like, and I just thrown it out there. I had to pay Kerrigan to be on my show. He's a good friend, but I had to pay him. It's like, fine, I will pay you. But then I felt like I'm bribing you to be on the show. It's not the show or the message for your supporting. It's just, I'm going to give you blah, blah amount, and it's a quick payday. So that's why I work with people that just saying, here's my message, I'm not paying you. If you would like to be on there, you're more than welcome to. If money ever comes up, I'm sorry. Maybe down the road we can work together.
Well, there is a reason Keith, why they call it show business,
Yes.
not show art, okay? It took me a long time to really clearly understand that when I started my career, because I kept thinking, I'm talented. Why are they not hiring me? Why are they not doing this stuff? And why are they doing this kind of stuff and not that kind of stuff? It's because for the people who run these businesses, it's the bottom line. And for people like me who are actors, and acting is the only art form where you have to have somebody else's permission to do your job. Somebody has to say to me, Royce, I'm hiring you. And if that doesn't happen, I can't go off and do my art on my own, because acting is a reciprocal, relationshipal, synergistic art form. You need other people to do it. And so we tend to be a little crazy. My favorite thing to say is, I am crazy. I must be crazy because I'm an actor. If I didn't have a screw loose, I'd have a job that paid me. Okay? So actors can be a little strange from time to time. I have been, throughout my life, been called a drama queen, because you know what? We keep our emotions right here. We have to, because that's what makes us good, is our ability to tap into feelings and then to replicate them, to be them in front of a camera or on a stage. It is not an easy life. I've been doing it now since I was 16 years old. If you can do the math, I'm 70, 16 means that I've been doing it for 54 years, over a half a century. And it's never been easy. It's what I do because I have to, or otherwise I really go crazy.
Right.
And
I didn't mean to complain to you. I do apologize.
No. You don't need to apologize. I'm just trying to explain how actors act sometimes. And, sometimes because those emotions are right here and they're always working, it's probably kind of the you factor of being an actor is you're always operating on two levels. One, the reality. For example, right now, I'm engaged with you in a conversation, but there is a part of my brain that's going, now, how would I use that if I was called upon in a show to be interviewed by a young man who has some issues, who might want to talk to me about something I don't want. So there's always that observation. The time that it really hit home for me was when my mother passed away, because there was a big part of me that was right there in the emotion of the time, dealing with my mom and her passing, and another little tiny part that was going, so this is what it feels like to lose somebody you love. Let's file that away for when you might have to use it. Sometimes it's not fun being an actor.
No, I agree. And then going back, and there's a couple other wrestlers too. Then I'm gonna pass the show over to you. With one more question. There's a couple other wrestlers. You're doing great things with disabilities, turning yourself into an example. Great, but there's other ones like money up front, and then I'm doing it. So that's why I don't deal with money. If I had a couple $1,000 to throw around, I'd be like, yeah, sure, pay you, whatever, I don't care. But I'm trying to get my foot through the door and make a living off this. And it's kind of like, I don't want to be like, I don't have sucker on my forehead, so I'm not trying to be taken advantage of. It's just, when you're not dealing with money, you're real and I'm real. Once you get money, it's kind of like, are you real or is this like a quick payday? And I'm not saying it's just for actors, but it's also wrestlers too, and there's a lot of other different people out there too.
Well, it is unfortunate. We live in a society where money is important.
Yes.
Nobody can live without it. You have to have it to keep a roof over your head and food in your belly and clothes on your back. And there was a point in time when I was working that I did stuff for free. But to be very honest with you, Keith, acting anymore, I don't do free stuff. I don't do deferred payment. There are lots of those kinds of projects out there. They're for young people. That's what I say. They're for young people who are wanting to build a career and build a resume. And maybe if I was in Los Angeles, I'm not in Los Angeles now. I'm in San Diego. I do go to Los Angeles for auditions when they come up, but my manager needs to be paid when she gets me auditions and I get work. I have to put out money for headshots. I am my business. I am my product. I have to do my own marketing. I have to sell myself. Therefore, just like any good business, and I will encourage you to do this too, any good business person has a business plan. They know what it takes, what that nut is to keep your business going forward. For a bricks and mortar business, that's things like rent and insurance and utilities and business cards and all of that myriad stuff that you've got to get. For an actor, it's my gym payment so that I can keep my body in shape. It's my headshots. It's the 15% I pay my manager. It's all of those things. And the more you are planned as a business person, whatever your business is, the more you know about what it takes to make your business work, the better off you are. And I highly encourage, and for anyone who's listening and wants to be an actor, the first thing you need to know is that you're going to hear a lot of no's. So if that makes you feel bad, this isn't the business for you. Also, you're going to work for a while and then you're not going to work for a while because that's the nature of the business. It's cyclical. When was the last time you saw Julia Roberts in something? Tom Cruise had not made a movie until Mission Impossible came out this year. So even the big stars don't go through these cycles. So you have to be willing to either have something else that is going to help you, keep that roof over your head, clothes on your back, and food in your belly between jobs, or you need to probably get out of the business. You have to be passionate about this. As I tend to say, you have to be hungry. You have to be passionate and hungry, and really, when you wake up in the morning, you've got to say, what I am as an actor, that's what I want to do. I'm going to put the work in it today. I don't just sit around waiting for my manager to submit me for jobs. I go online to these new casting networks and submit myself for work. If I was younger, I probably would look into, as most of the Power Rangers have got this new movie they're working on, I'd look into self-producing because that's the way to really get your work done, is to do it yourself. And there are so many ways nowadays, just like you with your online. There you can do webisodes, you can do online movies. There are cable movies. I just watched, by the way, I don't know if you like movies. I love movies, and I particularly like British movies. I'm an Anglophile. I love anything British. I just watched this movie yesterday, a Netflix movie made by Netflix that was the best movie I've seen in I don't know how long, called the Gloucester Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. And you can go on Netflix and find it. And it's really lovely. And it has all of the people, a lot of the people from Downton Abbey in it. And it's this gorgeous Gloucester site, location with all of these beautiful hills and the ocean, and it's just incredible. But that's what I do if it was nowadays. So I kind of yacked on. What else do you want to know? Because we're really getting to the end here, and I'm going to have to.
Well, I do have a couple questions for you off the air, and I would like to save Moses for part two. But wrapping up, when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction? And after being a guest, how do you feel now?
Well, I am very careful about who I talk to, Keith. I want you to know that. I told you no a lot.
Yeah.
I told you no a lot. And then I got sick. And 2017 was just about me being ill and getting out of the hospital. And I came out of the hospital and I really couldn't walk. I had to relearn all of that stuff. So 2017, me saying no was just because I couldn't. I didn't have the ability to do it. And I saw a little snippet of what you did, and that's why I'm here today. And I saw your mission, which I think is an admirable mission. And so that's why I said yes. And it took us a while to get kind of the timing worked out, right, because I'm an old fart and trying to figure out how to do FaceTime and stuff. You should know that I only learned how to do FaceTime last night at 2:30 in the morning because I couldn't sleep, because I was worried that I wouldn't get it done today. So I'm here because I was insomniac last night. So that's what it's about. You're a splendid young man, and I congratulate you on taking charge and doing what you love, and I hope you continue to do it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Hey, you're supporting a good cause. You're making a new friend out of it. And what do you have to say to people out there that originally say no? Do you think they should reconsider?
I think it has to be a personal thing. I really do, because I really understand the need. If you make your living on your brand, on your person, then the money is important. So it's got to be a personal thing, Keith. You've got to understand that it's a personal thing too, that people have to make that decision and determine, what's best for them.
Right.
What's best for them. So, ask who you like. If they say no, don't take it personally and move on,
That's true. And my last question for you, and I have a couple questions off the air. How can people follow you on social media? Are you on LinkedIn, Twitter, States32?
I'm at Royce Herron on Twitter. And I, at this point in time, all I have is my own personal Royce Herron Facebook page. I accept friends on that page, but only if I don't know them personally, only if there are 2 or 3 of the Power Ranger hierarchy who they're already friends with. I'm very careful about who I accept. And I do unfriend people, particularly those who are not nice. As I told you earlier, I'm a Christ follower.
Yeah.
Christ believer. And if you post ugly pictures or pictures that don't fit within my lifestyle, or you get into nasty confrontation. In fact, I had to unfriend a young man who was just almost to the point of bullying some of my other friends. And so I'm very careful about who I put. But if you like Power Rangers or you like me and we can work out some mutual friends, I'd be happy to accept a friend request. I don't request friends unless it's somebody that I know personally in my day-to-day life. So,
right.
Okay, did that answer the question?
No, absolutely. I do have a couple questions for you off the air.
Okay.
Wrapping up, it was a real honor and privilege having you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road.
Thank you, Keith, for having me, and you have a blessed day.